Welcome back Pokefans to my Pokemon Scarlet gameplay part 26. Last episode we finally got our last two gym badges from Montanavera gym as well as the Glaseado city gym. And now that we have completed all of the gyms, I think I'll go ahead and focus on our next Team Star base, which in this case much closer to us is gonna be the Fairy crew. So I will be kind of exploring a bit and then challenging the Fairy crew today. Really excited about this. Anyway, it seems like I am quite close to the crew itself, but we do have a Pokemon Center in between. So I guess my short goal would be to reach that Pokemon Center. Of course, we have a couple different trainers in this episode that we can actually battle. So I'm really excited about that as well. Heading down here, it seems like we do have a path that might go down the mountain. So I'm gonna try and go through this route. I'm pretty sure we have a couple different newer Pokemons that we have to catch as well. As you can see, here is an Abomasnow, which is the Pokemon I need to yet catch for my Pokedex. So let me see if I can actually catch it right here. Of course, since it's a fully evolved Pokemon, it's a bit trickier to catch, but I think we can actually catch it. Although I do have to be a bit more careful. Alright, I did switch into Armarouge and let's see if we can hit a Will-O-Wisp. Maybe not in this turn, I guess we do have to have another turn to do so. Let me try that once more and see if we can at least hit this turn. Ooh, never mind. The confusion is definitely pretty bad. Thankfully, the very next turn, I was actually able to break off the confusion. And there we go. At least it is burnt. Now that we were able to use this move, I think we can actually catch this Abomasnow. So let me try that as well. Of course, it did use Ingrain, which means it does get a bit of a health each turn, which in this case is a bit annoying. But I really can't do anything. I just have to wait for it to actually go down and try to catch it. I did decide although to use Ultra Ball, and luckily we were actually able to catch it with that. So I guess I do have to start buying a bit more Ultra Balls. Definitely pretty helpful for me. Now that we have caught it, I think I'll run around a bit more. I'm pretty sure that we have some really good trainers around here who are pretty strong. So I'm really hoping to find them as well. Looking around, it seems like we came to a kind of a border right here. And I do see that we are in the other side of the Glaseado mountain itself. Now this is not the side I think we are supposed to travel along. And I think we have to go through the other path. But of course, since we are exploring, I think we can cover up some of these parts of the mountains as well. It seems like we are coming up to a lake and there is a new Pokemon right here, which is Titan. This is a Pokemon that I have yet to catch. If you do have Citadel, I think you can actually evolve it using a Ice Stone. But since I did find this Pokemon right here, I'll go ahead and catch this one. I am pretty close to completing the Pokédex, which is quite exciting. There are a couple different entries that I've yet to get. I'm actually hoping for Pokemon Home to be introduced for these games pretty soon. As far as the news goes for that, they have said that it will be available at the early of 2023, which means it might be available on January. We are close to January after all, so I'm hoping it gets released pretty soon. If not, I guess we do have to wait until February to get that. Now you can definitely trade with your friends, but I don't really have anyone to trade right here. And using the link codes are a bit difficult for me, so I won't be doing that. Looking at the map, it seems like there are a couple different areas that I have yet to kind of explore. So I just decided to go through this one before we go back to the Fairy Grove itself. Alright, we are finally kind of seeing the 4-star terrorites, which is pretty nice. Right here, I did not show you guys the turret battle, but I did catch the Medicham. It's of course one of those Pokemons I have yet to catch for my Pokedex, so it was pretty cool to see it right there. Running around, it seems like we are coming up to another new area. It seems like it's kind of like a desert, but of course I think this is the first time I'm seeing it, so let me actually try to glide until this end. Coming here, I was actually able to find another new Pokemon, which is Glaseado, and I really want to catch this one. This is also a really good place for you to train up your Pokemons. Definitely would recommend you guys to come here and train them up. This is right next to the lake, by the way, so you just have to cross over through the lake or just make your way down from the Glaseado mountain to get here. Of course, these Pokemons are quite strong. As you can see, Glaseado is at level 54. They are a bit difficult to catch, but I got really lucky with the critical capture right there and was able to catch it. Pretty cool. Let me actually look around and see if there are any more Pokemons to catch. And of course, I did go ahead and let out my Armarouge in order to just train it up a bit more. Right here, I was able to find another new Pokemon. I think we have seen this one before. This is Frostmoth, the evolution of Snom. And since I didn't evolve my Snom, this is an easier way to catch it. Once again, I really did get lucky right here and was able to catch it in a single great ball. Pretty nice. And let me actually look around a bit more. We might be able to find some other Pokemons. Of course, in the meantime, I'm just gonna be training up Armarouge. That's it. Alright, it seems like we are kind of on a smaller cliff. And I did have to cut out a lot of stuff right here because these Pokemons kept attacking me and it was getting a bit annoying. But of course, they are really strong, by the way, so be a bit careful if you come down here. In case if you don't have a stronger team member or like Pokemons around level 50, then I think this area would be a bit difficult. But of course, since my Pokemons are quite higher in level, I'm still able to kind of defeat these Pokemons. Going more down the cliff, I was actually able to find a very special Pokemon, which is Spiritomb in this case. I think till now we have seen only one other Spiritomb, and that was with a random trainer. So this is amazing. Also, as you can see, I was able to catch it with a quick ball, which was very weird and really happy about this. Anyway, I see another new Pokemon, so let me try and catch it. This is the first time I'm seeing a Heracross, so I think we'll be able to find some of these Pokemons right here. And in the background, I'm also seeing another new Pokemon, which I do have to catch. Before that, let me see if I can catch this Heracross right here. I did try using a Ultra Ball here, and of course I think I do have to bring its health a bit more down before I can try and catch it. After all, it is quite strong. Let me actually switch out into Muskrada, which is not that good, but for now I think we should be okay. Luckily, I was able to catch it in the very next turn. There we go, we have caught a Heracross for ourselves as well. Alright. Let me go ahead and just revive my Pokemons and heal them up before we move on. I would also kind of recommend, saving your game before you challenge these Pokemons. Just in case they are a rare Pokemon for this area and if you find some difficulty finding them on a later stage. So I like to kind of save my game in case I'm not able to kind of catch it. But luckily, I was able to find the fortress and catch it with a quick ball as well. Now that we have completed catching these Pokemons, I think it's time for us to go down here. Seems like it's a new area. I'm pretty sure we'll have some newer Pokemons over here as well. So let me look around. And it seems like I have a Among Us, which is a newer Pokemon I do have to catch. Sadly, I did encounter a Sudowoodo, which I had to run away from. Sudowoodos are a bit annoying because they start running, and when they panic, they run sometimes at you, which is a bit difficult. Right here I was able to find another new Pokemon which is newer to this game. It's called Toadscruel. Yep, Toadscruel is a very weird name, but I think it's part fighting type. Either way, I'm just gonna try and catch this one. Thankfully, I have quite a lot of quick balls, so I'm definitely pretty good with the Pokeballs in this case. I can also try and catch them with some other Pokeballs as well, but I think it's either Ultra Ball or Quick Ball. Those two are the ones that work a lot well for me. I think Toadscruel was giving me a bit of a trouble right here. I was afraid to kind of attack it with a move just in case that I actually accidentally take it down, so it was a bit trickier, but I think we can still catch it. So let's see what we can do with Muscrada right here. I did go with Play Rough, and as you can see it is super effective, or I guess it didn't say that, but I'm just hoping it is. Either way, that is a really good health for us, so I went ahead and threw a Great Ball and we were able to catch it. Let's see what typing it is. It's a ground and grass type. Now that is pretty cool. Ground and grass type is a really good dual typing. Definitely a strong Pokemon right there. Let me continue looking around and see if we can find any other Pokemon. Of course, I get jumped by another Pokemon right here, but let me run away from it. Usually when I explore a new area, I don't like to go too far away from my goal or where I'm actually trying to reach. But in this episode, I think I definitely went quite far. If you do check the map, I'm actually pretty far from where I'm supposed to be, but I think it's still pretty fine. Right here I encountered a Zorwak, which was very weird. Definitely was not expecting it, but either way I was able to find a Slacking, which is pretty cool. It is a new Pokemon that I am yet to catch. I do have a Vigoroth in my box, but I think I do have to kind of level it up to evolve it. Sadly, I accidentally killed the Slackoth, so there it goes. The next Pokemon I did find is this one right here. I believe it's called Tazrina. It's actually a grass type Pokemon. It's pretty strong, but it's also a final evolution of Bonsweet. Definitely pretty cool. I have personally never used it in my team before, so I really don't know how good this is in a battle. But I do want to catch it for the sake of Pokédex, so let's see if we can. Of course, it does kind of self-heal itself twice in a row, which is pretty annoying. I'm also trying to kind of break its transformation right here and trying to make sure that I can actually catch it. Let's see if we did. There we go. I think this turn I should be able to catch this Pokemon. I did go with a Great Ball and we were able to catch it, so that's pretty cool. I'm really happy with this episode because we are definitely finding quite a lot of new Pokemons and filling up our Pokédex. Pretty nice. Found a Raichu right here, and it seems I didn't really catch this one either, so let me try and catch this one for the Pokédex. I think this is the 6th Pokemon I'm catching for today. Definitely really happy about that. I also tried with a Quick Ball and almost got it. I really thought I had the Pokemon right there. But of course that's not true. Let me try that one once more. And this turn, of course, it doesn't work either. Because why would it? I should actually switch into a different Pokeball. And I think I do have to switch into a different Pokemon as well. Just to make sure that Armarouge doesn't go down. Now I am actually trying to level it up a bit more to kind of bring it around the same level as my other Pokemons. Also, if I do switch into Kilobattle, I think I'll be able to kind of get away with a few of the flying type moves. Right here I finally decided to use my Great Ball, and of course it doesn't work. Okay, now that it is less than half health, we should be able to catch it. Never mind. I think this Raichu is giving me a lot of issues. I'm definitely not sure what else to do other than just throw Pokeballs at this point. Alright, there we go. We were finally able to catch it, but we did waste quite a lot of Pokeballs. I'm way too far from a Pokemon Center to buy more, so I am just gonna conserve my Pokeballs a bit more right here. I'm pretty sure we have caught all the Pokemons in this area, and I think the only things left is probably the trainers around here, but of course it's quite difficult sometimes when you're very far from the Pokemon Center. I really thought I didn't have a Lurantis, but apparently I do. That's okay. I think we can actually take this one down since we are already battling it and it's pretty high in level as well. There we go. One move did take it down. Alright, pretty nice. As you might have seen, my Pokemons are coming around level 60, which is pretty good for the champion assessment itself. But I think my Pokemons are going to be a bit higher in level. Just because of the fact that I will be trying and completing my Pokédex more. Right here we have another new trainer. Actually, this trainer has way higher level Pokemons. I mean, they're literally at level 56, which is pretty high. I literally don't think I could have defeated this trainer if my Pokemons weren't so high in level. Okay, she does have a Toedscruel. I'll go ahead and switch into Meowscarada. I think it's better since it is part ground type. Although I'm not really sure which typing would be better to defeat it. It is a ground and grass type. Alright, let's go ahead and try using U-turn, which is super effective. I think that's because grass type moves won't be really that super effective against it since it is a part grass type. We could have used a fire type move, but I think it's a bit risky considering it is part ground type. Right here I switched into Kilowattral and we can actually try using a flight type move as well against this one. But definitely it is pretty strong. It is at level 56 after all. There we go, we have defeated it. Let's see what is the last Pokemon she has. And yeah, she has Among Us, which is pretty cool. I haven't really caught this one, so I do have to try and see if I can find one in this area. I think the last one that I saw got kind of reset, so I'm still trying to find one for myself. And I will try exploring this area a bit more. It seems like it's kind of like a dead end, so I don't think we have too much to explore here. But maybe there are a couple of trainers left as well, so let me look around. I do have to tell this, I don't know what this area is actually called. As far as I've seen the map, I think this is kind of the West Province, but I'm not sure about the area, whether it's like area 1 or 2. But I mean, I didn't get that pop-up coming up when I came to this area either. So the only way you'll be able to identify this area is by the map itself. You'll be able to easily see it as it's across the river or the lake in this case. I was lucky enough to find Among Us, so let me quickly try and catch it. Right here, I did try catching it with a timer ball, and luckily I did get it, so that was pretty nice. I should have tried catching it with a Pokeball, that would have been so much better. But at the moment, I think I just went up with the timer ball. Looking around, it seems like we do have couple different Pokemons usually in the tree, which is pretty cool. I think I really like that addition. We didn't have it before in the other games. Of course, we did have the berry trees in Shield, but you couldn't visibly see which Pokemon was on the tree, but here you can. So I think that's pretty nice. I was lucky enough to find another Slacking, so let's try not to actually take it down this turn. I tried using a quick ball without realizing that this isn't the first turn. That's the reason why we weren't able to really catch it. The concern for me at this point is that I don't really have that many Ultra Balls, so I don't really want to waste too many on this Pokemon. Hence I did decide to switch into Kilowattral, kind of take it down in health a bit more, and then try to use a Pokeball. The one good thing is it doesn't attack every turn, so I still have a pretty good chance of getting its health down and trying to catch it. Of course, it is definitely trying to be a bit difficult right here. Let me try that once more. This is the second Ultra Ball I'm using, and it's so close, but I'm not able to yet catch it. Okay, this turn I did go for a Pokeball, and of course that breaks. I could never catch it in a Pokeball unless the health is pretty low. By the way, I'm using a Pokeball because I just want to waste some turns, and since I don't really have too much of a use of the Pokeballs, I can just go ahead and use them. Of course, even with the health so low, I'm not able to still catch this lacking. I'm getting a bit concerned because we only have 4 Ultra Balls left. Never mind. 3 more left. Let's hope we can actually catch it within that. I got a bit nervous, so I did decide going to a timer ball this turn, and I got a critical capture, so I think that's the reason why I was able to actually catch it. But there we go, we have the slacking as well. Pretty nice. Let me look around and see if we have any more trainers. I mean, I really like the trainers in this area because they're pretty challenging, and I think after having so many easy battles lately, I feel like I do need a bit of a challenge, so I'm really excited for that. Right here, I was just saving my game, and of course the Toadstool does have to come up. That's alright. Looking around, it seems like we don't have too many items to pick up, but there is a trainer. Let me switch in my team members, and I guess we can actually go back to challenge the trainer. Really excited about this. Also, by the way, we have covered half of this area. There are multiple paths I can take, but I think all of them just go to a dead end at the end, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, here is our next trainer. It's another student. I'm really surprised that these trainers are out here. It's such a secluded area. Just imagine standing in a very secluded area like a forest and just waiting for some other trainer to come by. Like, that is really bad. I'm really surprised that we are able to find trainers over here as well. This guy actually had a Dutch bun and we were easily able to take it down. I guess he only had one Pokemon, so that was pretty easy for us. Now, I don't want to explore too much over here because we do have the complete fairy crew to kind of take down as well. So what I'll do is that I will just explore a bit more, like around 4 to 5 minutes more, and then we can go back to Glaseado Mountain and look around over there. I know that as far as I see the map, there is a huge area where we have couple different trainers in Glaseado Mountain, which we have yet to battle. So definitely I do want to go ahead and check that out as well. Going back to the fairy crew, I have to tell this, I am very interested in the Team Star storyline. It has been pretty cool till now. We have been kind of getting to know each one of those bosses on their own. So it's pretty interesting. I'm definitely quite interested to see what else comes up with that storyline. We have been kind of going around with the 3 different storylines that we have. The first one being the gym storyline, which we have almost completed. The only thing left is the champion assessment. I think I'll challenge it after I complete the other 2 storylines, just because I want everything ready before I go to the champion assessments. We also have the storyline with the Titan Pokemon, and till now we have defeated 4 of them. It has been pretty cool. We have got to know Arvin a bit more, and definitely he seemed to care a lot about his Mabustef. Pretty nice. But we do have 1 Titan Pokemon left, which probably will grant us the power to kind of climb the rocks or scale the rocks in this case, and I think that's actually important for us in the upcoming areas that we are gonna go to. I'm also interested to see the conclusion of that area. We have kind of met the professor, Sada in this case, in Pokemon Scarlet, and I think I'm kind of interested in that storyline. We haven't really got too much about it. Probably we will get to know a bit more once we do kind of defeat the final Titan. As far as I have seen, I think the final Titan Pokemon will be quite higher in level. At this rate in which my Pokemons are, I think I'm still good with kind of going ahead and challenging the Titan Pokemon right away. But I do want to take down the Fairy Crew at least first before I go there. Over here, I'm back in Glaseado Mountain since we did kind of explore that small corner of the map. And looking around, it seems like I did accidentally fall down right here, which I actually didn't mean to fall down, by the way. I was just trying to run around and accidentally slipped. Now, I think I could kind of look around here a bit more before we go back to the Pokemon Center itself. We don't really have anywhere near to kind of fly to either. But I was able to find the small cave right here, which is pretty cool. And there is a tower down there, which I believe we haven't really explored. So I definitely do want to explore this tower. Now, this tower is actually quite close to Medali City, and there are actually two towers quite close to each other. The first one we have already explored. The second one is kind of above a cliff, but I think when I made that episode, I didn't actually explore the small cliff right here, and that's the reason why it seems I missed this tower as well. But all's good now since we did defeat the Gimmighoul right here, and by the looks of it, I think I'm quite close to getting 999 Gimmighoul coins. Really excited to see when I can actually evolve my Gimmighoul. I do have 2 in my box just for the sake of it. Maybe once we collect 999 coins and evolve the first one, we could try and find the others. Not really sure how easy it's gonna be trying to evolve a second Gimmighoul, considering that these Gimmighouls in the tower would have been gone, and the only way for us to get coins after we get 999 the first time would probably be just random Gimmighouls running around. I think it's gonna be a bit difficult, so getting one Pokemon at a time, I think it's pretty fine. Anyway, I'm just using it for recording my Pokédex, so also I don't think you'll be able to find its evolved version in the game. The only way you would probably get it is by evolving, so definitely I think this is quite helpful. Right here, actually, I found another trainer, which again we missed since we didn't come here. He does have some really good Pokemon, so I'm just gonna defeat him as well. If I do continue in this same cliff, we have another part that actually goes and connects to the forest area that we were there before. But I think I'll go back to Glaseado Mountain. I mean, I'm literally going far away from my goal at this point, exploring random areas. But of course, this trainer did have a Honchkrow, which is pretty nice. And there we have it. We have defeated this trainer as well. Let me look around a bit more before we go back. I don't think if I don't explore it now, I probably won't come back to these areas later. So definitely do want to pick up all of the items here before I leave. We also have a Pterodon, which is pretty nice. I think they are the easier way to get more LP points. So if you're running low, just run around the map. Go ahead and just interact with the Pterodons and you'll probably get enough LP points for the day. At least that is what I'm doing myself. As you just saw, the 3-star Pterodons do give you 100 LP. 1000 LP, which is really good. If it's 4-star or 5-star, you probably would get until 2000 LP. So definitely pretty helpful if you're running low with your Pokemon or if you're running low on LP itself. Alright, now that we have explored it, I think we can actually go ahead and head back. Definitely I do have to go to that Pokemon Center at least by the end of this episode. Glaseado Mountain is definitely pretty big, but as far as I've seen, I don't think I have explored it completely. There are definitely small areas that are pretty far from the Pokemon Center, and I don't think they have anything important. I mean, you can definitely go ahead and explore it, but my main goal is gonna be just going to the fairy crew den. Jumping down right here, I was able to see that there is a path that we can actually take down to the Pokemon Center. And on my way there, I think I actually skipped a trainer. So let me look around here and check out if there are any trainers. I also think that this episode is gonna be a bit longer considering we are doing a lot of exploring. I think it's fair enough since we didn't really explore the last 2 episodes. It seems that I haven't really missed any trainers, so I'm good with that. Here is the first trainer for us in Glaseado Mountain, so let me quickly defeat him as well. This trainer has only one Pokemon, which is a Lucario. Pretty cool. Personally, I haven't yet caught a Lucario for my Pokédex. If you do want to get one, I think you'll be able to find it in the passage that is right next to Zapico City. It's gonna be one of those exclusive Terra Pokemon, so you can definitely go ahead and catch it there. I think that's much easier than trying to evolve your Riolu. The only time you would probably try and evolve a Riolu into Lucario is if you're actually using it in your team, so I think this is quite helpful. There we go, we have defeated this trainer. Let me go ahead and continue this path and try to reach the Pokemon Center down there. I also, by the way, accidentally killed a Gardevoir, so I do have to find another one. I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find them here in Glaseado Mountain, so shouldn't be too difficult. We still haven't seen a Gallade, by the way, and I'm still hoping that I'll be able to encounter one in the wild. But if we do not, I still have a couple of Colliers in the box which I can definitely evolve with a Dawnstone. Looking at this cliff, I was actually able to find another Gardevoir right here, which is pretty nice. Let me at least try and catch this one. It's a bit difficult catching these Pokemons, especially since they are quite underleveled than me. And I can actually easily take them down if I'm not too careful. Right here I did use Toxic. I'm a bit worried about it because Toxic can sometimes, if you might know, increase in each turn. So definitely a bit concerning. Hoping that I can catch it before it goes down. That was disappointing. Let me try another Pokeball. Alright, this turn I'm gonna try and use a Quick Ball to see if we can actually catch it. Never mind. Trying once more. Of course, the health is kind of going down, but I'm just deciding which Pokeball I could actually use to safely catch it. I think this Gardevoir doesn't want to get caught. I think that's what's happening right here. But I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna use another Ultra Ball. This turn, of course, it comes out. Why not? One more turn. This is the last turn. I have to better catch it right here. And there we go. We did get a critical capture. That's the reason why I was able to actually catch it. And our Pokédex is filled as well. Let me continue making my way down this cliff. I think we will have a couple more trainers around here. But if not, we should be pretty good. Never mind. The minute I say we have another trainer right here. This time is actually a hiker with a Mabustiff. I think I've already caught it as well, so I don't have to worry about Mabustiff right here. But in case if you haven't caught it yet, the easy way to catch this Pokemon is that you'll be able to kind of encounter it in certain areas. They'll be present in a group, so definitely it's pretty common to actually find them. I think you'll find them around Medali City, so it should be pretty easy. The next Pokemon is actually a Vaporeon, which is pretty nice to see. I mean, I haven't really seen that many trainers using EV evolutions, so this one's pretty nice. I also did switch into Muscrada. I think it's easier to take down the Vaporeon with it. But of course, if you are afraid that Vaporeon might know a Ice type move, in that case, you can definitely try and switch into your Electric type Pokemon. But in my case, I was able to take it down in one hit. The last Pokemon is actually a Weavile. By the way, you can actually find Weavile in Glaseado Mountain. It's pretty rare, but you'll be able to find it near the lake. So any water body, you just go around there, you'll be able to encounter one. Alright, Weavile is a pretty cool Pokemon by the way, but it's I guess it's a ice type Pokemon, so it's gonna be having a lot of weaknesses, so it's a bit difficult to use. Personally, I have used it once and it's pretty fast by the way. You can definitely bring it out and take down the opponent in one hit, but you do have to use it for the right opponent in this case. Alright, moving out from the battle, I think we are quite close to the Pokemon Center, and I definitely do want to go back to kind of heal my team members before we move on. And since we are quite close to the Fairy Crew, I think we might have some cutscenes coming up as well. But before we go there, I did want to check out this other cliff, and of course, I accidentally fell down into the water. Pretty bad, because if you do fall down near a waterfalls like that, you get dragged down. And since I don't really have the ability to kind of climb the cliffs myself, I do get attacked by Pokemons around here. Let me actually get out of water as soon as I can, and since we are quite close to the Pokemon Center, I definitely do want to check out these routes before I heal up my team members. Right here, I was actually able to find another ruins, which is pretty cool. It's actually across the river, and this time since I was able to kind of jump around, I was able to actually find it. Pretty nice. It's a small corner, nothing too much to explore, and of course a perfect place for me to glide back to the Pokemon Center, which personally I really like in this game. I think I really enjoy going up the mountain and kind of gliding down. Talking to this NPC right here, it seems like we definitely do have to defeat 4 trainers around this area. I think we might find them right next to the crew base itself, but I definitely do want to look around a bit more before we challenge the base. I was also lucky enough to find a Chansey by the way, and I like Chansey because they give a lot of EXP and definitely an easier way to kind of take down or level up my team members. Coming here, we have another cutscene. It definitely seems like Clive wants to talk to us. Dash. Operation Starfall is going well. Wouldn't you say? Only 2 bosses left now. This whole experience has been an eye-opening to say the least. I'm glad I could take part. Me too, I guess. But I'm curious, Dash. What do you think of Cassiopeia? They're definitely a bag of riddles for me. I mean, we don't really know anything about her. Is that so? Personally, I don't think Cassiopeia feels any hate or resentment against Team Star. No, there must be some other reason behind Operation Starfall. But what could it be? Well, I would best get back to keeping watch. Call for me if you decide to take on the base, okay? And there he goes. That's all the small cutscene we are gonna have for now. Unless we of course go quite close to the base itself. But of course, before we go towards the base itself, I actually skipped this trainer right here, so I think we definitely have to battle her. She is after all one of the 4 trainers that the NPC in Pokemon Center is actually asking us to defeat. And of course, she actually has a Gothitelle, which is pretty cool. I think it's one of those Pokemons I am yet to add as well, so it's pretty nice to see it. I think it's difficult for me to find Gothitelle in the wild, so what I would prefer to do is just level up my own Pokemon which I have. Before we go towards the base, I think I definitely want to look around this nook and cranny right here. We do have a path that goes up, but before we go there, let me actually make my way down. There is of course a small beach at the end, so definitely I do want to check it. After last episode, while I was checking out my Pokédex, I actually realized that I didn't have a Dedenne in it. I have actually encountered this Pokemon multiple times near Medali City, and for some reason I thought I had already had its data in my Pokédex, but I did not. So I did catch it right here. There's also another Pokemon I'm hoping to find in this area. It's actually a Sunflora, which is the evolution of Sunkern, by the way. It's a bit difficult to evolve since you do need a evolutionary stone, but if I can find it in the wild, yep, it's right here. I will definitely take this. It's so much easier to catch it rather than evolve it. Luckily for me, I can actually still try and kind of hit it once before I catch it, just because of the fact that it is at level 46, which is quite high. Looking around, you can actually see the Fairy Crew base as well, and I think if I go too close to the base, I might actually have another cutscene coming up as well, so I'm gonna be a bit careful. Coming up to the beach, I'm hoping there is a trainer at least here, considering that we are way far away from the Pokemon Center. And is there a trainer around here? Yes, there is. Pretty cool. So let me challenge this trainer as well. And this is the second trainer in this area, by the way. Alright, he actually has a Grimmsnarl, which is pretty cool. But of course, it's not that strong. You can definitely take it down. Its defense and special defense is pretty bad. Although it does kind of have a really good speed start as well. But we were easily able to defeat this trainer. Now, if you did see the map, there is a lighthouse tower over here as well, which is pretty cool. But of course, it's inside the base, so unless you defeat the base and go back, you actually won't be able to access it until you challenge them, which I think is pretty cool, considering that they have taken the tower as well. Going up the small cliff, I was able to find another trainer. Pretty nice. I'll actually go ahead and challenge him as well. I'm actually interested to see where this small cliff will go, considering that it's so far away from everything else. This trainer has a Lavesta, which is pretty nice. Although I don't think Strada is the best to kind of take it down, but since we are kind of a bit higher level, we are able to defeat him. He does have another Pokemon, which is Electric, which is again one of my favorite Pokemons. I really like Dynamo and its evolution, so definitely really happy to see this Pokemon here. I really wish I could actually use this Pokemon in my team, but sadly, since I did decide to use all newer Pokemons introduced in this game, I wasn't able to actually use it. But it's a really solid Pokemon and definitely a really good electric type team member. For now, let me try and take it down. For some reason, I forgot that it did have the ability Levitate and actually use Earthquake right there. This turn I did switch in and I actually tried using Mega Horn. Let's see if we can actually take it down in one hit. Never mind, it actually avoided the attack. But of course, we do have to try that one once more. Let me try using Sludge Wave this turn, hoping that it will actually hit. I think its accuracy is much better. And there we go. We were able to take it down to at least red health, even though we didn't really take it down in one hit. Using the same move again, I am able to at least take it down right here. Although it's quite annoying that it's using Bind. It's really slowly taking down my health and definitely pretty bad. At least I was able to take down this trainer. You know what, since I'm actually curious on where this ledge actually goes, I think I do want to explore it a bit more. I know we are almost near the 1 hour limit for this episode, so I won't go too far, but I definitely want to just check it out. We do have a couple of items and it seems to be going back. And by that I was actually saying back to Glaseado Mountain. And since we can actually climb up some of these rocks, I definitely want to check it out. Of course, to be honest, I really haven't explored Glaseado Mountain that much. The only path I think I explored was the ones that we usually take for the both cities. So anything else other than that is completely unexplored. I also don't want to go too far into Glaseado Mountain back again, so I came back to the Pokemon Center. Talking to this NPC, it seems like we did defeat 3 trainers, but there is of course one left, and I am not sure where this trainer is. You know what, I will just cut back to if I find that trainer. Well, I didn't find that trainer, but I did find a trainer in Glaseado Mountain, which I apparently missed. So let me quickly defeat this trainer. He actually has a Magnezone, which is pretty cool. By the way, evolving a Magneton into Magnezone is pretty easy. All you have to do is use a Thunderstone. So definitely a really solid Pokemon, by the way. It's part Steel and Electric type. Right here I did have to switch into Armarouge. I can't really do anything with my current team member. Let's hope we can actually take it down in one hit right here. It is quite under leveled. I mean, it's at level 41, 20 levels lower. And there we go, we have taken it down. This scientist actually has 2 more Pokemon, so let's see what else he has in his team. The next one is actually a Muk, and I could have stayed in with Armarouge as well since it does have a Psychic type move. But I finally decided to go with Cloudire. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually take it down with a Earthquake. Muk usually tries to use Minimize, which is pretty annoying if you ask me. If it does use that move a couple times, it's very difficult to kind of take it down. In this case, I didn't have that issue, which was quite lucky. The last Pokemon is Hypno. Alright, I have never seen a trainer using Hypno, so pretty cool to see one right here. Let me go ahead and bring out Muscrada, who should be able to take it down in one hit. Alright, here it is. Let me use Night Slash. And by the way, Hypno is a really good Pokemon. At least I felt that when I was kind of playing Fire Red and Leaf Green. In those games, it was quite powerful. I'm not really sure if it's the same in these games, but definitely a really good Pokemon for that generation. Here, Armarouge is actually trying to learn Armor Cannon, which is a unique move that it learns, and I definitely want to have that move in its moveset. There we go, we have defeated this trainer as well. Now that I defeated this trainer, I actually decided to glide down. I missed the small path that actually goes to another side of the beach, and I just decided to kind of explore it. While exploring right here, I went too close to the base, by the way. And as soon as I run away from this Pokemon right here, there comes another cutscene. I will return later when it's time for young master's piano lesson. Until then, please give him my regards. Yes, Mr. Harrington. I think he has a weird name called Harrington right there. And who might you be, young lady? A friend of the young master, perhaps? Not really. Ah, I see. Since you seem unaware, I am informing you that this is the base of Team Star's Fairy Crew, the Rajpa squad led by young Master Ortega. Mr. Harrington, I don't think you were supposed to give out that information. No? Then please accept my apologies. Do you have any idea as to who this young lady might be? She's no friend of ours. You know, I think she might be here to try and take us on. Understood. In that case, I'll take it you're an adversary of young master. Yep, that's right. Is that so? Well then, that leaves me with one last thing to ask you. Huh? Would you be so kind as to indulge me in a quick battle? Definitely not gonna do that now. So we are gonna ignore them both and explore the beach in the left side, which was my initial goal. Definitely it seems we have been exploring quite a lot in this episode. I think since we are quite closer to the 1 hour limit, I will take up the Fairy Crew in the next episode. In case if you were here to just see me kind of defeat the fairy crew, I think it's better that you watch my next video. But if you're interested more in finding out the rest of the trainers, go ahead and watch this video. Right here we found our fourth trainer, but I think we might have another one in the beach. So after we defeat this trainer right here, I'll go ahead and check out that small area over there as well. This is pretty nice to see that this trainer actually has a Medicham. And of course, we did have a bit of a trouble taking it down, especially since it is raining outside, which is definitely not helping my fire-type Pokemon. But since she had only one Pokemon, that was pretty easy. Let me quickly explore the rest of the beach as well. I think this base is pretty cool considering the fact that they have kind of left the small secret areas around it. We can always cross over, but I think there is a cutscene if you accidentally go into their base before you actually defeat them. So that is pretty cool as well. Right here I found another Pokemon, which is Sylveon. I am not really sure if I have it in my Pokédex, so I went ahead and encountered it. Let's see if we do have it. And yep, it seems like we do have it in our Pokédex, so I'm just gonna run away. Looking around, I was actually able to find another trainer, and this one is actually quite powerful, considering that this trainer actually had the black color pop-up box. And of course she has a Wigglytuff, which is pretty nice. But if you did see, Wigglytuff is at level 50, which is the highest level of Pokemon we have seen in a trainer around this area. Definitely the fairy crew are going to be a bit higher in level than this. So if you have a Pokemon around level 55, I think you're good to go for the fairy crew base. Definitely if you do have a poison type Pokemon, it's going to be much easier. In my case, I do have the Cloudsire, so I think I should be pretty fine. The next Pokemon is Kricketune, which is pretty easy to take down. You can just go ahead and use Flamethrower on it. And of course, the last Pokemon is gonna be, let's see, Grumpig. Pretty nice. It's a Pokemon that was introduced, I believe, in Ruby and Sapphire games, so definitely pretty powerful in those games. I think I used to kind of use it most of the time when I used to build a team in those games, but right now I'm not really sure how good it is. But of course, either way, we should be able to take it down. I did switch him to Baxcalibur just for the sake of using Crunch, and there we go, we have one-shotted. I think that's all the trainers we have in this area. So now that we have defeated all the trainers, I think we can finally go back to the Pokemon Center, talk to the NPC and see what we get. For last few NPCs, we have been getting TMs. So I think that is gonna be the same thing over here as well, but you never know. I'm also not only defeating the trainers, I'm also kind of checking out these secluded beaches. Sometimes you do have a luck of finding some rare Pokemon right here. Definitely helpful if you are like me, completing the Pokédex itself. Alright, I think we are done with the exploring. Let me make my way back to the Pokemon Center and let's see how it goes. Of course, there are a couple different items I might have missed myself, but I'm not too worried about it. I think it's pretty fine. I did decide finally to fly back to the Pokemon Center, and talking to the NPC, we actually get Leaf Storm. I know that I did click A pretty fast, but the TM that we do get is actually Leaf Storm, and that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that's all I had for today's episode. In the next episode, we'll go ahead and challenge the fairy crew, see how the battle goes, and really interested on what story they have as well. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you like my videos, and if you'd like to support me more, check out the links in my description. I'll see you guys in the next episode.